All right, guys, welcome back into another PGA DFS video. Got the Sony Open 2021 picks here for you, but first, right off the back, I just want to get your guys' feelings on this. So, do you like this YouTube cover better, or do you like this YouTube cover better? I'm just trying to get the feeling down of which one I should use as my main YouTube thumbnail cover going forward for 2021, or do you think I should keep them separate like they currently are, one for the course preview and one for the tournament picks page, which is what we're going over right now. Just let me know in the comment section below. Appreciate that help. But let's do that quick recap of the previous week. So last week was a great week. I think everyone kind of already knows that fouls 9 to 5. So this is what the player pool ended up being. Had a lot of DJ, had a lot of Niemann. Champ was kind of a bust, but other than that, all the picks were spectacular. Harris English was a high exposure play. He ended up winning. He was in a playoff with Joaquin Niemann there. So overall, Sentry Tournament Champions was great. The only real bad thing with the Sentry Tournament Champions was that it was the Sentry Tournament Champions. It wasn't a full tournament field event. If it was a full tournament field event, it would have been a great week. It was been one of those weeks to write home about, but instead, it's a smaller field event. You don't attack it as much. Still, can't complain about a good week. It was great to have a good week. Good way to start off 2021 season. So I'm pretty excited. I hope you guys are all pumped up. And I'm pumped up that all these tools have been working out. I know in NFL, I don't know if you guys saw that already, but I was testing out the lineup builder week 17. Ended up getting a top 3 finish using that. That was awesome to see. And then last week, I ended up touching first place for a little bit there. Ended up with a top 20 finish at the Sentry Tournament of Champions. And then I had a good lineup going for NFL this past wildcard weekend as well. So things are hot at 9 to 5. And so definitely make sure to check it out. It's just fun to be having a good week and seeing all these tools, seeing all the time that I put into these tools, really paying off. But let's get into kind of the course breakdown. Now, I already did a course overview video of this. So if you guys want a more in-depth version, definitely go ahead and check out that YouTube video. Just a quick summary. Last year did play a little bit more difficult than it typically does. So I do expect that to kind of go back, regress back. I think it's going to be more of like the cut line's going to be right around -2 or 2 under par. And the winning score is going to be right around 20 under par. We also did this main breakdown as well on the course preview video, but we're really looking at strokes gained to the green. We're going to be looking at ball striking, birdie to bogey ratio, and then strokes gained putting are going to be the key stats that we're looking at for this week, because heck, this is what the last 4 years is telling us were the key stats at this course. So we already know that. We already dove down into the data and got that. So if you want this data sheet, you can go to 9 to 5 Sports and check out the main golf tab. But let's get into the picks for this week, guys. All right, so I got it pulled up here. Just kind of going over who are the top stat ranks here. We got Joaquin Niemann, Matthew Naismith casually popping here. That's surprising to me. Russell Henley, Harris English, Webb Simpson, James Hahn. That doesn't surprise me. He had a great fall golf swing there. Emiliano Grillo, Jason Kokrak, Taylor Gooch, Doug Gim. That's a little bit surprising. And then Peter Malnati kind of wrapping it up. That's a little bit surprising to me. Let's check out who has the best course history here as well. All right, so Brendan Steele actually has the best course history. That's a little bit surprising to me. Let's see why. Okay, so he had that second place finish here last year. That's his only start here in the last 4 years. Can't really penalize a guy for, not playing a tournament. And when they have played it well, they did well. He lost in the playoff last year, so he's got the best course history. Webb Simpson is going to be next with a 3rd, a 4th, and a 13th place finish. Patton Kizzire has won here before. I think he's a 2-time defending champ. Now, I only like to look at the last 4 years of data, but he had a 13th place finish in 2018 as well. Davis Love, I know he played well in 2018 here. He's not going to be in our player pool. And then Cameron Davis as well had a top 10 finish last year. So kind of interesting there. And then just going off of recent form, we'll see who's in the best recent form. I can almost guarantee I know who one of those players are going to be. Harris English, obviously coming off his victory. He's had 3 straight top 6 finishes or better. Ryan Palmer's been playing really well as well this whole fall golf. James Hahn, he's been in great fall golf form as well. And then Cameron Smith, Abram Manser, those are some other guys rounding out kind of their recent form rank. But let's get into it. We'll start off here. Sorted by salary. We'll start off with the high tier. I have to reset the filters here real quick. So yeah, we'll start off with the high tier. Going to go 9K to 11K range. So, I really do like Webb Simpson as a key play here this week. So Webb Simpson is really standing out to me as a play. We can see it right now, guys. Great course history. Anytime we can get a guy that's had 3 top 10 finishes and another 13th place finish. Just checking all the boxes. He's going to be a strong play this week. And typically we do want to use guys that played well at the or really just played at the Sentry Tournament Champions. Those guys typically do tend to play a little bit better as well. Now, maybe you shouldn't use that as like a key characteristic or key stat this week, but you can use that as a solid 50-50 decision maker. So if you're kind of worried about 2 players, I would use that decision maker there. I also do really like Harris English. Yes, he's coming off of that victory, and you wonder, is he going to be as motivated? But if you guys ever watch Harris English, he's kind of just, I don't want to say going through the motions every tournament, but he's not a really energized player. He's not going to have the highs and lows. He's really just even keel every tournament, every shot. And so I'm not that worried about him. The only thing I do worry about him is that we are going to be paying up a high price point for him. I actually do really like Joaquin Niemann this week. He is the best overall stat ranking. As you guys can see, it's really strong. Strokes gained approach is his worst stat there at 93rd. Other than that, he is a great pick this week. Hideki Matsuyama, I do worry about there. I don't see the real point of paying him. And then Cameron Smith, he is the defending champion, but had made 4 straight cuts here as well. We do worry about his ball striking, kind of lacking there. Strokes gained total is solid. Strokes gained to the green could be better. Strokes gained putting, that's kind of what has been saving him. And then I'm going to be curious to see if people are going to pay up this huge price point here for someone like Ryan Palmer, who, top 5 in the model this week. It's mostly due to recent form and a little bit of course history. 4th place finisher last year. He played the event last week as well, which is going to help him. Strong in strokes gained tee to green, strong in strokes gained total, strong in strokes gained birdie to bogey ratio. I'm interested to see his ownership levels because he was really high last week, and I think he could be high once again this week. So that is going to be an interesting play to me. I am definitely favoring Webb Simpson there on the high end, along with Joaquin Niemann there as well. Now let's move on into the mid tier here. We're going to go down to the 8K to the 8.9K range. There we go. So Kevin Kisner's on the high end, or on the mid tier there. Highest price player in the mid tier price range. I don't really like him. One player that is catching my eye is going to be Russell Henley there. So he's the top 3 stat rank this week. And just look at it, guys. Strokes gained tee to green, top 10 in that. That's what we want to see. Strokes gained total, top 15 in that. Strokes gained approach, top 10 in that. And birdie to bogey ratio, top 10 in that. So he's really checking the boxes in those main stats that we want to see him doing well at. We know that strokes gained putting, that's kind of the stat on the PGA Tour that has the highest variance, so hopefully he comes out and plays a little bit better. His course history here is horrible as well, so it is a mirror GPP only play, but he is a great stat rank. Obviously, if he had good course history, he'd probably be a core play for us this week, but because he doesn't, can't go with him as a core play, but I do think he's going to be a strong play. And then going down to Zach Johnson as well. Zach Johnson to me is a very interesting play as well. Just look at all of his key stats here. All of them are pretty solid ball strikings where you want it to be. Strokes gained to the green, good enough. Strokes gained putting, obviously he's always been a great putter. Strokes gained approach, very solid in that. We look at his overall course history here. It could be a little bit better, but a bunch of finishes, top 30 finishes, and 1 missed cut. That's pretty solid. He has been playing much better fall golf this season as well, where he played some great fall golf, much better than he had the year prior. So I like him as well. But after that, I really don't feel like we have to force anyone into our player pools. Now, I do want to mention Charles Howell. Our typical cut maker, Charles Howell, he had a pretty good fall as well, and he's always really played well at this course in previous years. I think that's normally due to his strong ball striking and total driving. That hasn't exactly been there. He's actually just been putting really well. But it wouldn't surprise me if he went out and had a good week. I just don't really feel comfortable paying $8K for Charles Howell this week, or even Zach Johnson, to be honest with you guys. So this is mostly going to be a range that I think I'm going to stay away from. I'm going to pay up for the top end, and I'm going to figure out here at this low tier price point range. So we'll drop it down into the low tier. So Sebastian Munoz, I don't mind. His foreign indicator is what's kind of preventing him from popping up this week, but I don't mind him as a play. Now we go back to Patton Kizzire. So Patton Kizzire has actually had a good fall golf season thus far. His last 3 starts, he's made the cut and had a top 10 finish. We look at the stats that we need him to be good at. He's good in all of them, okay? Strokes gained approach and strokes gained tee to green. Okay, that's not that good. But total driving, ball striking, that's where we want it to be. Birdie to bogey ratio. Or birdie to bogey ratio. That's there as well. Nope. a good play for this price point, 7.7 for a top 24 stat fit, a top 10 model rank, guy that's had extreme course history here before. I like Patton Kizzire as a play this week, guys. It just seems like a solid play at this price point range. And then Taylor Gooch, I should mention as well. He is a strong stat rank, has okay course history, made cut, miscut, made cut. That's okay. If you guys are wondering, that's what the 100 indicator, that's what that indicates. It indicates a miscut, if you guys were wondering. But he's strong in strokes gained to the green. He's strong in birdie to bogey ratio. If you could putt a little bit better this week, he's going to have a solid week. So Taylor Gooch, I don't mind his price point. And then you could actually go ahead and really just say the same for someone like Jason Kokrak, who also is a top 10 stat fit. Strong putter, decent in birdie to bogey ratio, been toll driving and ball striking the ball very well. He played last week, obviously. Didn't play that well. It's less a worry with him, but he did play here last week, which I think does give him a little bit of advantage. I will mention Brian Harmon. Oh, wow, Brian Harmon. You know, recent form a little bit iffy. He had a decent fall swing as well. Played a lot better during the fall swing than he had the year prior. Has good course history here as well. He's a guy that I expect to make the cut. I just don't expect that much from him. Keegan Bradley and Carlos Ortiz, very interesting plays to me this week. We look at Keegan Bradley. He's a guy that had a great fall swing. He's a guy that's played really well here as well. He's a guy that strokes gain approach is great so far, and his strokes gain tee to green has been great so far. Total driving and ball striking has been great so far as well. He's another one of those plays where at this price point, I could see myself ending up on him a decent amount. You want to talk about checking all the boxes. He's doing that recent form wise. He's doing that course history wise, and obviously he's doing that stat rank wise where he's a top 20 stat rank. Keegan Bradley's checking all the boxes, which I don't really like, but he is kind of a standout play to me this week. And then Carlos Ortiz, I mentioned him in passing there. I don't love him this week. I feel like we'd be forcing him into our player pools, but strong birdie to bogey ratio, strong strokes gained tee to green, so I don't mind him as a play. Hasn't missed the cut here in the last 4 years. I'm fine with that. I just don't love it. And then our boy Matthew Naismith, he got a price bump, baby. What is going on here? He finally got a price bump. This is shocking to me that he got this price bump, but I mean, we know why. I mean, look at it. Second best stat rank, top 10 in the model rank. If he gets it going with his putter, he's going to have a phenomenal week, okay? Strokes gained tee to green, top 34 in that. Strokes gained approach, top 25 in that. Birdie to bogey ratio, really great in that. Good recent form, made the cut here last year. Matthew Naismith, our boy, 905's boy, is going to be tough to pass up on this week. I actually do like him a decent amount as a play. Do want to mention Russell Knox just real quick in passing. Don't be surprised if he has a good week. He has good course history here. He typically does play better at this stretch of the season than he does later on in the season, so I don't mind him as a play as well. But that said, I'm not going to give away all my picks in that 7K range. Let's get into the value tier here. Value tier is kind of a fun range this week just because there are some players that I think are getting a little bit passed up on in this price range. I'll sort by their rank there. Now, this is not right. Obviously, there's pulling in some kind of blank data for these guys, so let's scroll down to some guys that are kind of have them all going. So William McGirt, Wesley Bryan. Wesley Bryan to me is a little bit interesting. So Wesley Bryan, kind of a strong staff. He's making a ton of bogeys, but if he can wrap that up, he might not be a bad play. Made the cut here in 2017, so I don't mind him as a play. The price point's a little bit iffy for me, but I kind of get it if you guys were to end up on him. Let's see who else we got. Luke List, everyone's favorite DFS play. I don't really like him as a play. I don't see why we would want to play him this week. Roger Sloan, okay. He's an okay play. Had a top 25 finish in his last start. Made cut and a miscut here. Decent stat rank, top 51, which indicates to me that, you know, he's going to be right around a made cut there where he's ranked at. So kind of indicates that he is a little bit mispriced there. So I could see a route where we end up on him. Kind of same thing with JJ Spawn this week where, you know, I don't think he's a lock or anything like that, but he has, you know, made his last 3 cuts. Made his cut here in 2017. Okay stat rank, you know, top 40. He ranks out as someone that is looking like he should make the cut. Then we look at someone like Tyler McCumber, who we know is a strong off the tee. Once again, if that is going to be a key stat this week, he could end up, you know, being a decent play. In his last start, he went off and scored. That's not anything you want to like hang your hat on, but you know, I could be fine with that as a play. Then Kramer Hickok, he's an okay play as well. He's another one of those guys where I do think he makes the cut, but it is starting to get a little bit iffy here. Top 70 stat rank, ranks 50 in the model, so he's going to be right around that cut line as well. Nothing you want to go crazy with, but it's something I could see us ending up on. And I want to see why Fabian Gomez is popping. Okay. Yeah, just because of his most recent start. And I'm not playing Grayson Murray here, but he had like... this dude is just taking L's on social media. If you guys know what I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about. If you don't, just probably ignore it. But, oh, Grayson Murray, yeah. I don't know what's going on with that dude. Very interesting there. Ben Taylor, another, decent stat rank. I don't know if I really trust that. It's mostly just because of the strokes gained putting, strokes gained total. I don't really trust that at his price point. No reason to force him into our builds. And then let's see, anyone else? Yes, no one really else. Let's see, Y.E. Yang. That is interesting to me. Obviously, he's not got any stats going, but he did make the cut here in his last 2 starts. That's a little bit interesting to me as well. Going to be an interesting week overall. Yeah. Value range could have been a little bit better. I will pull up my boy Troy Merritt here real quick as well. I probably won't end up on him this week, unfortunately, but I'm always rooting for my boy Troy Merritt. Everyone kind of knows why. Everyone knows that story. He went to the same school as I did for a little bit before he decided to transfer up. Let's see Adam Shank there, and then I'll begin done with the value tier here. Just type him in. Okay, yeah, Adam Shank hasn't been playing well this fall. Not a good stat fit this week. Decent recent form, but that's about it. All right. Well, that is all I have for you guys for this video. This is kind of going to be the course, the main video breakdown that I go throughout for the full week. The one that I release on Mondays for you guys. It's going to be a bigger breakdown of the player pool. On Sunday, you will see the course overview video. Definitely make sure to check that out. Definitely make sure to make that a staple in your guys' weekly research. And then this is going to be the basic, kind of longer video, but going over the players I like the most. And then on Tuesday, I will be releasing my core plays video, which will just be a breakdown of the 9 to 5 sports player sheet like you guys saw last week. All right, thanks for watching, guys. Let's have another good week. Let's keep the 2021 hot streak rolling at the Sony Open this week. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, please give me a like and subscribe. If you guys want to join 9 to 5 Nation, I really do think it is the best value out there across industry. You get a whole database there for golf. You're getting the cheat sheet there, and you're getting the top plays all for $10 a month. It's really tough for anyone else to beat that value there. So definitely think about joining. If you don't, just give me that like and subscribe. That also helps the channel. All right, thanks guys. We're out, and as always, let's keep cashing.